I can say is wow, wow, and wow. And I told you I've been shocked, shocked, literally shocked, and fear and trembling, utmost respect for God. We have to wake up at an accelerated pace. I talked about waking up at an accelerated pace, and we have to wake up quickly. Satan gets one third. Are we at 8 billion souls yet? So a quarter would only be what 2 billion at eight. So the enemy's going to take out 2 billion souls, and he does it through sorcery. Says they'll be deceived for their sorceries. And, wow, wow. Um, um, I had to fish for words. Sorry, I had to fish for words, or otherwise they won't let me speak. So, um, but it says in Revelation that Satan takes a third. The sixth seal has been released. The seventh seal is when the kingdom come, the will be done on earth as in heaven, but it can't be until the 13th tribe, the royal priesthood, after the order of Melchizedek. So reread Hebrews several times, grab a hold of this. 12 times 12, that 144,000 are basically Jews that do as they're told, but they're not all relationship Jews. They're Jews in name, Israel in name. Just like I talked about that dirt over there that they put resurrected and called it Israel, so that the end times could transpire and that Satan could kill a third of humanity. So we're talking about the most mega death, in a short time. Um, we're like in the past, the biological war. So they last about 3.5 years. So we're going into the about 6 more months. We're going in about half a year, 3.5 years, which is maximum lifespan of the bio unit, HCU, human carbon unit, which is we are the crop. We're the crop, and I I got to get this word out, but the words have to be understood, but not to be X'd out, not to X out the video. So, um, what I'm saying is Satan gets a third of humanity, and he only has a couple years to do it. And like I said, Jesus did the latter part of the week for us. He died and resurrected. First part of the week, we're just scratching our heads going, what's going on? Just like the disciples. Jesus dead and crucified. They were bummed out, went fishing. So the latter part of the week, Jesus did for us to show us that there is no death. So never be afraid of death, but putting on the whole armor, let this mind be in you as Christ Jesus said, Paul said. So to think like him, talk like him, speak like him, believe like him, and have on the breastplate of righteousness and the full armor is all done on the inside. On the inside. No, it's not outside. It's not armor that you put on to protect yourself from what the enemy's throwing at you. It's all internal and eternal. You. The kingdom comes internally. Internal. How do you say that? It all comes inside for you to become an eternal being, and that you can pop the snake oil out of people, and even the dead people. You can call them back and call them healed from head to toe and everything extracted. So whatever the enemy has caused, you can give me all the reasons why you have a broken leg. And just keep talking. Tell me every reason why you believe you have a broken leg. And then I'm not going to believe none of it. But keep talking. Tell me every single reason why you believe you have a broken leg. And then I'm just going to tell you one reason why you're healed. By his stripes you are healed. In the name of Jesus. It's a mind, a 180 in the mind. So the battlefield in the mind for the soul, for the vessel. The lobotomy. The enemy's given so many people like lobotomies. And I'm not talking about a physical lobotomy. I'm talking around they're deaf and dumb and have scales over the eyes, like it says in the book, that they're not awake. So when a lot of us will be martyred, but a lot of us will be called back from the dead. We might be dead 3.5 days, but we'll be called back. So, the sorcerers of the day, the leadership that put Jesus to death, when they couldn't find him in the tomb, they were freaking out. When they found out he resurrected, they were really freaking out. So the enemy's people, we got to be able to raise the dead faster than they can kill them. Now that's the goal. We're not going to reach that goal, but that's the goal. Because Satan does get a third of humanity, which is over 2 billion. 2 billion, okay? And the powers to be are actually shoving my videos out there to hide the powers to be. So when people Google stuff, they go to our page instead of I'll call it the natural truth. So forgive me for being a little sketchy here. I'll do another video real soon. But I'm just telling you got to heal the sick and raise the dead. You're going to be forced to heal the sick and raise the dead in a sense of the word. Because if your child dies, don't believe in there's no resurrection. Believe in the resurrection and Jesus. Jesus resurrected. The resurrection's in us. The resurrection power is in us. We are the immaculate conception of the Spirit of God. We're talked about it in Mary. Now, Mary's not the immaculate conception. No, she's one woman. So now it's 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. He still equals 1. We all 1 in him. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is just a dead body count of clones, of dead heads, of parrots. Polly wants cracker. Polly don't want no doggone cracker. He's just repeating what you said. He didn't even know what he said. He's just a bird. Some birds are very intelligent, but this Polly wants cracker. He don't want no cracker. He's just saying what you said. So we got to wake him up, shake him up quickly. And the demonstration of spirit and power has to be so out there. I'm talking like the domino effect has to start now. If you have somebody sick or died, go and pray. There'll be plenty of time to pray to resurrect the dead. And then there's some dead that don't need to be resurrected because the dead need to bury the dead. And if you wake them back up, they may not wake up spiritually. They only may wake up physically. Now, the witch doctors of the day, they used to go and dig up their people. Like you bury your people in 3.5 days in Haiti. Even though you spell Haiti, Haiti or whatever, it really means Hades. Just a different translation. In the port of the prince was given over to the port of the prince, Satan. Now, the witch doctors down there would dig their people up after they buried them. They go in the cemetery and dig them up and call them back from the dead. But they weren't awake. They were like zombies. And Hollywood has portrayed zombies something that they're not, but there's a reality. That's where they got the zombie movies. But the reality is they wake the body up, but the body doesn't know who they are. Because through the sorceries and stuff, it's like having a lobotomy, that you will not know who you are. and they will sell these vessels into slavery. Now, a little secret I found out about 12 years ago. If you give the zombies electrolytes, if you mix them up some electrolytical drink with minerals and mineral salts and give them a drink of, you just give them a drink of a electrolytic mineral drink. Now, I'm not talking about Gatorade. I'm talking about something you have to would make yourself. Then they would wake up and remember who they are. And tons of people are lacking minerals, which causes them to stay asleep, to stay in a zombie-like state, even though they're fully functional and they seem like nice people. But the salt, Jesus says, we are the salt of the earth. But there's spiritual and there's natural. Spiritual and natural needs to be talked about. So if you gave the zombie salt, which are actually mineral drink that you could make, they would wake up and remember who they are. Now, the whole world's lacking of a weak immune deficiency, so they'll be dying at an alarming rate. Very easily die at an alarming rate because their immune system's been compromised through everything that they've thrown at us since the late 40s, since they called that land Israel instead of calling God's people Israel. Then they told you that this product was better than butter, and then they told you that don't eat eggs, eat egg beaters, and they told you this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, when they're telling you what's good for you is bad and what's bad for you is good. And people have been buying in this since 1948 approximately, and we're in 77 years. So I forget, do the math. 1948 from 77 years. So 48 would, I think it's 2018 approximately, 48, 50, 60, 70, be about 2018. If the math is correct, I don't have a pen and paper here and I don't have my calculator, but it's not about the times and dates. It's about now. You got to wake up now. You got to help many wake up now. And there's herbal, mineral, botanical drinks that many people have made. So in the fall, why do they call it fall? Because the leaves fall. They used to call it, what was it, autumn or something. So the leaves fall, and they fall into creeks, streams, lakes, and everything to cause that water to be a herbal, botanical. Now, it already has a lot of minerals in it, so it's herbal, botanical, mineral drink. The understanding of the three, same as the 1 and 3, the third heaven and first heaven, in Jesus' ministry. You'll see these numbers over and over and over. So herbal, botanical, mineral drink can knock the viral down and boost your health. So I'm going to stop here and upload this and see if they will let it fly. So this is just kind of a warm-up, just a primer to get you to understand that everything from, not a living soul, like a dead spirit, spiritual lobotomy, versus you are the salt and the light. And we got to understand the natural and the physical, the natural and the spiritual, natural and spiritual, in order to usher in the kingdom come that will be done in this time. And we have such a short time to do it. But the other thing is time is not time. It's like, I already live in after time, not worried about time. But for the people that are perishing, they want to know if we're in the end times. Yeah, the sixth seal has already sounded. Okay. Not the sixth seal. 7 seals have already been removed. It's the sixth trump. The sixth trumpet has already sounded. We're just going to, now when your awakening is going to help usher in the 7th trump, so the kingdom comes that will be done on earth as in heaven. So look up 7 trumpets. Don't worry about 7 seals. They've already been unleashed. The revelation Jesus has given to many of us The books have already been opened for the understanding of how this last war plays out and how we need to fight it. So I'm going to leave you with that. God bless you. We'll talk soon.